Greetings all. Welcome to session 59 of the Sphere of Power campaign. My longest running D&D campaign to date, and that says something after almost 40 years. So this session we're calling Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's been almost a month since the party found themselves unexpectedly in the distant city of Bralazar on the southern edge of the Desert of Desolation. Having been deigned the heroes of prophecy, you set forth on a quest to stop the evil Efreet Kalatarius, Pasha to the Fire Sultan, from returning to this land to exact his vengeance after a millennium of captivity at the hands of the legendary mage Martek. To date, you have found 3 of the 5 star gems, restored the flow of the river Athis to this parched land, and helped purge the influence of a coalition of slavers and cultists from the oasis of the White Palm. These most recent events have earned the party the favor of Sheikh Qasim Arslan, hereditary ruler of the oasis. However, it seems the plans of the cultists and slavers also overlapped with the ordained prophecy, as these groups hope to capitalize on the Efreet's return. The confluence of these interests led to the kidnapping of the Princess Shadala, betrothed to Hassan Arslan, firstborn son and heir to the Sheikh. After earning his trust, the Sheikh has asked you to find and rescue her, bestowing upon the party the ancient amulet that has been used by his family to identify the ordained bride of the firstborn since the time of Martek. Intel from the slavers and cultists seems to confirm that Kalatharius was in possession of the captured princess and likely had brought her to a stronghold that had been established within the crypt of Badr al-Mozak, a despotic land baron and raider who occupied these lands centuries ago. Having found the crypt only a few days' journey to the west of the White Palm, the party managed to overcome a powerful contingent of undead, including the kinds of which none of the party had seen before, that almost led to the death of their loyal Goliath paladin and protector. After a needed recovery period, the party managed to proceed onward, locating an unusual obelisk that spouted useless fortunes and a path back that would have avoided the gauntlet of undead that almost cost Varric his life. But now they find themselves looking upon a large vertical shaft that extends out of sight in both directions and apparently has some kind of enchantment or other mystic property that allows a falling object to return to the top and continue falling endlessly. Another ledge has been located several dozen feet above their current location. Having located the ledge by using her ring of flying that had been found several weeks ago, Kaelily now finds herself giving flying lessons to Varric so that he may use the ring to establish an anchor a footing on the upper passage. If I last remember, Kaelily had been given some instructions to Varric so that he could get somewhat acquainted with using the ring. And I believe the intent was for him to secure a footing above so that you guys could get up to the upper level. Anything there seeming consistent with what any of you remember? It has been a month since we last played, so I figured we go into a little more detail just to make sure everyone's memory was somewhat refreshed.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Sounds about right.
Okay. Then, so that puts us at
How much time has passed? Did we take a long rest?
you did prior to coming to the pits. So you were in that room, or you camped out in that room and you had to do a full recovery after Varric almost died.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was long enough for him to restore his lost was it your hit points, right? And then
Yep.
Redreth also took an intelligence point hit that you did restore, correct?
Yes. So I just want to make sure I've got it in the combat tracker, but I will spend a first level spell slot to put mage armor back on myself for eight hours. It's still showing in the combat tracker. I just want to make sure that it's logged that I did recast it when I needed to. So
Nope, good call. Good call. Thing.
I will. Just so it shows up in the combat log, I will remove the one that's there and recast it. That way it is. That way it still shows up. Oh, I didn't target myself, did I? There.
All right. So, Eric, you have the ring of flying at this point. You guys all should be fully healed. I don't believe I see anything different. One quick question, or confirmation. Alex, Kaylee is carrying the amulet from the sheik, correct?
Yeah. No wonder you guys weren't answering me. I was on mute.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything from you.
Yeah, I've gotten used to the fact that, you know, if it seems like I'm being ignored, maybe I should check the status of my microphone.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So according to my notes, I took my ring back from Varric, and we hadn't yet decided who was going to fly up to the next level, but it's very clear that somebody has to go up there. And I think, yes, I do have the amulet. I seem to be carrying a lot of little trinkets.
How high up is that ledge above the one that we're all on?
I believe it is 50 feet. Let me confirm that.
And how long is your magic rope, Kaoli?
60. Grand total of 60.
Going the other direction from
not,
where you are is about 200 feet.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Was we weren't sure we had enough rope to make it up there.
So you'd have to go
how much
down and then back up again?
No, you can go,
Down
you
around?
can go two ways. You can either fall. Let's see.
I think we'd have to do an experiment
It would go
to
down.
see if
What you figured out so far is that you would go down about 50 feet and teleport to the top, which is 140 feet above you. And then 50 feet above you is the next ledge. So
okay.
you are talking about, let's see, so you would drop 50 feet and then it would be another 90 feet. So yeah, 140 feet to drop to the ledge or 50 feet to climb to it.
Okay.
Well, we definitely have plenty of rope to climb up. And it's not like we have to attempt to catch the ledge as we fall to find a place to anchor the rope. Yay, ring of flying.
Now, I should point out that as you are standing there talking and discussing things, all of you seem to notice something that catches your eye. Oh, come on, you're supposed to ask what?
We're just waiting for you to tell us.
You all happen to notice an object worthy of your attention fall past you in the pit or shaft or whatever the open space is.
Whatever we want to call it.
And quite honestly, all of you are sitting there thinking to yourselves, wait a minute, why didn't I notice that before? And
yeah,
so you all
I'm
kind of like
attempt to catch it.
Well, no, it's too far out. You're not going to be able to catch it. But you all kind of look over in almost choreographed fashion at like in a double take. You're like, what was it? Wait a minute. And you all look over at it and you see it fall past the ledge. And you're all kind of, you're not moving and you're not doing anything precarious, but you're all kind of like moving your heads to like look down at like, wait a minute. And then you all in synchronicity look up again because you're like, wait a minute. Shouldn't that be falling again? And in the process of doing so, you notice a few more objects that catch your attention before you see the initial object pass by you again. And at this point, by the time the next object is passed, you all have noticed at least 6 objects that have passed you by that one or another of you have all gone, ooh, shiny. Among the
Well,
items,
Kaylily with the flying ring, she can jump out and grab one, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said I'm going to try and catch it. I meant I'm going to have my ring on and I'm going to jump in and attempt to catch it.
well, I figured the comedy or the scenario of having you all notice it simultaneously and then the several other objects all at once is like appropriate before allowing a reaction, especially since there's no danger.
Yes.
But among the
Yeah.
objects that one or more of you each observe include let's see. I'm just going to share pictures. I'll let you decide.
Ooh,
what
pictures
you
are
see.
fun.
Yes.
Just FYI, I'm not intentionally being not involved. There's just a lot of background in my place, so I'm on mute.
Not a problem. All right. Well, the first one, unfortunately, does not have a picture, so I'll save that for a
Oh,
moment.
sad.
And the second one doesn't have a picture. That's a shame. All right, so I'll save that one.
Everything should have a
However,
picture.
This does have a picture. See that
Ooh.
photo?
That looks like something a wizard or an artificer might want.
You also see.
Ooh, shiny.
Yes.
You also see, or at least Redreth in particular sees, a scroll, or a scroll case, I should say, floating by. Most of you observe
Cool.
two vials, which again doesn't have a picture. Damn it. And what is a little more obvious includes what must be a crystal ball and a shield with a number of concentric rings etched into its surface like a target.
Ooh. Definitely. I'm gonna look at the others.
There's Redress reaction in the general channel there.
I'm gonna look at everyone else and then
Perfect.
I'm gonna jump in.
Grab the shinies.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in with the ring on and see how many of them I can catch.
This is exactly like the little thing at the casinos where you stand in the thing that's got all the dollar bills flying around you and you've got to try and catch them.
Yeah, not unlike that, definitely. And not that the characters would know, but there's definitely a Vegas-esque feel to what's going on at the moment. Like, I'm being showered with treasures. So, and had you any other means available to you other than that ring, or in particular, the ability to fly, we would be going through some interesting rolls and chances and probably have you guys bouncing and flying off of walls and trying to toss ropes and whatever else. But thankfully, you have a flyer. And barring any extreme circumstances, which unless you want to see if you're going to roll a 1, I am just going to go ahead and give you this parcel of goodies and let you guys decide. There we go. All right, so the party sheet now has these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, one of which the vials there are 2 of.
Okay. We really got to do something about all these extra things in the party sheet. The strange helm and the superior sword, or superior scroll, are very cool. What else? There's a crystal ball. And 2 flasks of oil.
Red Dress
Or that
reaction
is
to getting the
what they're
scroll
labeled.
in the general channel.
All right, so you're taking possession of the scroll, I presume?
Yes.
Are you?
Am I touching the cursed object and having to roll a save again?
No die rolls required. And I presume, are you going to look at the scroll at least to see, you know?
I am. Yeah. If it's unidentified, I'll settle myself right on the floor and attempt to
What about the helm?
identify it.
No
Spend the-
need.
Strange helm.
No need. You are able to identify it right away upon opening it because it happens to be a scroll you already know, or a spell you already know. So you have another scroll of Fireball.
That can be very helpful when you run out of
Yes, it gives them an
appropriate spell
extra
slots.
one. I
You
mean,
could
it's not a
still-
new
You could still cast it.
Yep, it's not a new spell to inscribe, but it does give him an extra shot when
extra
he
casting
desperately
of it.
needs it. Yep.
All right. You're a good boy. Yeah, I love you. My puppy's lonely, so
Now
he's sitting next to me.
the strange helmet, is that unidentified?
We should identify it.
Yes, because I'll
I
take
would
the time to sit down and identify it if need.
That and there's 2 flasks. They're labeled as flask of oil in the party sheet right now. And then the crystal ball also needs identification. And I think as a group, we would be perfectly happy to sit here and wait for you to cast your identify ritual as many times as it takes.
Yep.
And allow me to remind you, there's also the shield.
Oh,
Oh,
that's right.
yeah.
Yes.
I see 3 shields, so it's the +1.
Nope. It's just labeled shield. On my screen, it's the one directly above the shield +1.
Okay.
And you can
Somewhat
tell because
unusual.
when you click on it, yeah, you can tell because when you click on it, there's just the notes field. There's nothing actually.
Okay. Yep. Well, if we're willing to settle in for, I don't know, what is it, a half hour, 45 minutes or whatever.
That
Let's do
reminds
it.
me, let me post the time for our note takers benefit.
Thank you.
And that's a 10-minute casting time if you do it as a ritual, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
so-
it's like 10 minutes plus 6 seconds or something like that.
And we're going to add an extra 2 minutes just for assorted, like, oh, wait, and catching discussion of what you're doing. So that moves the clock up a little ahead. And with that and the successful casting of Red Dret's spell, you identify the shield as an arrow catching shield, the crystal ball as a standard crystal ball, and the helm as a helm of telepathy, along with 2 oils of slipperiness, 2 vials of oil of slipperiness.
Cool.
Just floating through the air, whoosh, 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 whoosh. Free for the grabbing, and apparently no one else.
Oil of slipperiness.
Yeah.
And that's in both of them are oil of slipperiness?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So it can either be the grease spell, it can either emulate the grease spell if you pour it on the floor or other such surface, or it can emulate freedom of movement so that you can't be grappled.
So you basically, so you become a WWE wrestler, huh?
Keep in mind, applying the oil in order to
It takes 10 minutes. So I'm
will
saying
take
it's
a
like
bit of time.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oil them up,
oiling himself
bros.
up. Exactly. I vote that the two Goliaths have to oil themselves up. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind a vial of grease.
I mean, Varric doesn't need one. I'll take that shield though, unless somebody else was having some thoughts about it.
Are you familiar with it?
What is the shield?
I'm
Oh, that's
not-
arrow catching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
+2
sure
bonus to armor.
anybody.
You gain a +2 bonus to armor class against ranged attacks while you wield the shield. This is in addition to the shield's normal bonus to AC. In addition, whenever an attacker makes a ranged attack against a target within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to become the target instead of the attack.
I like it. If nobody else wants to use
So
it, I will.
yeah, I definitely think it's appropriate for our paladin. Not saying it
Mhm.
shouldn't go to anyone
That's
else,
cool.
but
Yeah,
it's
paladin
basically
or
saying
cleric was my thought.
I'm gonna be the
Yeah.
tank.
The wizard is going to vote that he doesn't take the shield.
That Varric doesn't take the shield, or that you don't.
That I don't take the shield.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Varric will look at Hag and be like, "It's because it's not a sword."
And the helm. While
Yeah, what
wearing
was
the
the
helm,
helm?
you can use an action to cast the detect thoughts spell from it. As long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you can use a bonus action to send a telepathic message to a creature you are focused on. It can reply using a bonus action to do so while your focus on it continues. While focusing on a creature with detect thoughts, you can use an action to cast the suggestion spell from the helm on that creature. Once used, the suggestion property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, do you have to be able to cast spells to wear the helm?
No.
Doesn't say so.
Because that might be most useful for somebody other than the wizard, because the
Yeah.
wizard is
Mhm.
going to be busy casting other types of spells.
It does
Mhm.
require attunement, but it doesn't say anything about being restricted to any specific kind of spellcaster. And as a matter of fact, there are very few spellcasters that can wear helms. At least in older editions. I don't know how much that's changed now.
And the wizard's
I-
already tuned to 3 items, so I couldn't use it anyways.
Yeah.
Does the shield require attunement?
I think so.
It'll say in the description
Yes, the
when
shield. The shield does require attunement. Both items require attunement.
yeah.
And the crystal ball does as well.
Oh, the crystal ball has a special scrying property.
I mean, I kind of like the helm of telepathy. That would have come. I wouldn't have had to yell across that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm all eyeballing that one too.
I'm
Mhm.
surprised.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Albie doesn't have more to say about it at this point, because he knows damn well that particular ability was the bane of my existence earlier in an earlier campaign.
I wasn't going to say anything. I'm just listening.
the other thing, what is the range on that helm? Is there a specified range?
I would assume it'd be the detect thoughts range.
Yes, more than likely. So detect thoughts.
Oh, okay. So creature that you can see
Self.
within 30 feet. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So that would not be super helpful.
Yeah, you're not going to control despots from afar.
And same for
or run an
suggestion,
empire
too.
using it.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that if it didn't require line of sight and had a reasonable range, then it might be good for scouting purposes so that I don't have to come back every time I find something worthy of reporting. But it requires line of sight and it's only 30 feet, so.
Dan, it says you just disconnected. Is that intentional or are you having internet issues or system issues? And did we lose you?
I don't know.
It looks like we did.
We lost somebody.
Yeah, he's and you're
I'm-
muted. There you are.
Yeah, I'm here. What's the question?
It said in Fantasy Grounds that you disconnected.
Oh, I closed the computer so I could go inside where we're supposed to be.
Okay.
Once
Just
I get set up again, I'll be. I'm still listening. I'll have to reopen my game.
that's a problem. Not a problem. I just wanted to make sure you didn't get disconnected or something. So we're okay. All right.
Does Hager Feckish want the helmet telepathy?
Yeah, I mean, if it'll fit my noggin, I'm down.
Sure. I have an open attunement slot.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's a
it's
good
either
point.
The shield or the helm.
That's a really good point. We haven't exactly clarified how dragon-like your visage is.
Yep.
You might have some protruding features and whatnot that may not make that suitable. I don't think we want to get into that. If you want the helm, and
Yeah, I
there's no
thought most of the
disagreement.
magic items would conform.
It's a magic
once you're
item.
attuned.
Once it's attuned, doesn't it just shift its
Adapt?
shape so that
Yeah,
he can wear it?
we'll go with that.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Otherwise, shit.
All right, Albie, you
Goliath
know how
could
to
never
claim
wear
stuff from
dwarven.
the party inventory into your own?
I believe I do. I think.
You should be able to just drag it from.
Otherwise, the thought of the Goliath trying to fit that on their big noggin,
Yeah, right.
and having it be like a little tiny cap or something atop their head would be awesome.
Oh, and especially with the shape of it, that kind of brain contour. So look, it's a big brained Goliath. That would look really funky, actually. I definitely see.
Well, like the belted dwarven kind on Grog would be like a bracelet, you know.
All right. So now that you've stashed your stuff and admired your goodies, what's the next step?
Taking a rope up and seeing if we can figure out where to anchor a rope so people can climb up so that we can go up the stairs, because I believe we have pretty much determined that this level is all explored out, and this seems to be the way that we're supposed to go.
Well, you fly on up to the upper ledge without issue, thanks to your ring. I'm glad you agree. Can you guys hear him?
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, you
He
can.
has conversations with me sometimes. Sorry, that was completely distracting. If I had video of it, you would understand why. All right, so you're up on the ledge. There isn't exactly a hook or an outcropping that you could feel confident a rope would be secure against.
Okay.
You're thinking that the best bet is going to be to provide leverage on the back end of it. And with that in mind, your frame is not the right one to be doing that.
Yeah. I did not know that I had that in my inventory. Yeah, I'm checking for things that would be useful for securing it. And all I've got is a grappling hook. wonder if that would be sturdy enough.
You can use it, obviously, there's nothing preventing you from doing so, but there are no sharp corners. You would say any place
Yeah.
that you can see that you would attach it, there's a chance it'll slip. Let me rephrase
Yeah.
that, a
All
not
right.
insignificant chance it will slip.
Yeah, there's always a chance, but this is okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
more
going
than a one.
to yeah, I'm going to fly back down and Varric is the only other person with any experience with this ring, so I'm going to I'm not even really going to say anything. I'm just going to kind of hand the ring to him. Actually, I am going to say something. I'm going to hand it to him and be like, "Don't lose it. I want it back."
All right, and he'll hand you a scroll of steed and be like, "Well, I want this back."
I will nod. I will nod and tuck it away and you know, make sure that you have rope with you and indicate for you to go up and hang on to the upper end of the rope so that everybody can climb up.
For sure.
Is this a normal rope or your special rope?
I don't know. Does Varric, do you have a rope of your own?
I do not.
Okay. I will probably hand you my my normal silk rope, 50 feet.
Awesome.
Well, can I point out that since it is exactly 50 feet, it's going to be dangling slightly up, whereas your 60-foot special rope does give plenty of room to wrap around his waist and still be low enough for everyone to grab.
Okay, then we'll do it that way.
Cool.
Not to mention it's a lot less likely to slip off of his waist.
Yeah, because he can just tell it to hang on.
Yep.
Like, come with me and like watch my back while I help everybody else, so I'm not getting pushed.
Yeah, you could piggyback on him if he's wearing the ring.
Yeah,
I would be absolutely happy to do that, and you carry me up there, and then I'll keep an eye on things while you are busy anchoring the rope.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah.
All right. So if I understand correctly, Varric is going to don the ring. Billy is going to piggyback with him as he flies up to the next ledge. Anchors the rope to his waist with Kaylee's help to ensure a secure knot. And then he's going to hold the rope as well as he lowers it down to the platform.
Yep.
And that means the remaining four of you now have a rope dangling.
I will attempt to climb the rope. So what role do I need to do?
I mean, I could just, depending on how big the room is where Varric is, I could just back up. I'd need 50 feet of clearance though, so.
To do what?
If somebody just grabbed on, Varric could just back up, pull him up.
In this case, I would say an athletics check. You had the option of an athletics or an acrobatics check to climb the rope.
Okay. I'm sure my dex is better than
Your strength.
my athletics. So yeah, we'll do that. Not a lot.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. So the mage is obviously not a rope climber and is now caught in the free fall.
I will throw Kaylee the rope and jump out and grab him because I still have the ring.
Ah.
So the rope is attached to you. I have the rope in my hand, and you are flying after.
Yep.
After Redvest.
I thought the rope was secure. I thought the rope was secured to his waist. And
Yeah,
which really wouldn't matter because there's no weight on the rope at the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, did he give the ring back when he got up there? Because if he did, then he just jumped out with no ring.
No.
Well, it wasn't discussed
he
yet,
would-
so.
It wasn't stated, so I'm going to say it's still on him.
I think I would have left the ring with him for now because he's better. He's built to catch things better than I am.
Yep.
So you know, for this exact situation, somebody fails to even grab onto the rope and needs to be caught. I'm the wrong person to catch you.
Basically, the Goliaths can catch anyone and continue to fly. Most of the rest of you would not be able to continue to fly if you caught a Goliath. So from a
That sounds
practical
reasonable.
yeah, from a practical standpoint, he's definitely the best one to have the ring in hand. And honestly, unless you're suspicious of him, which I wouldn't think after, you know, all these weeks of adventuring with him,
No,
you wouldn't be
I'm
that
not.
anxious
I'm
to
not
get the ring back.
suspicious. I'm not suspicious that he's going to try and, you know, keep it for himself. That's not the issue.
Yeah. So yeah, he still has it on him. He notices that Redrith fails. Question is, are you able to react soon enough for him to jump out before he passes the ledge the first time by? So what we're going to do actually is we're going to just do a dex check.
Dex,
Mm-hmm.
just straight dex.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful. All right, so yeah, you're able to jump out and grab him while still flying before he even passes the first time, so he doesn't even reach terminal velocity.
So I'm
Very
gonna,
nice.
when Varric sets down on the upper ledge, I'm gonna look at Kaylee and be like, "We don't need a rope,"
Oh,
and
you
I'm
know
just
what,
gonna
though,
fly that.
Matt? I do kind of have to ask. Is this the superhero stop in midair catch, or are you going to slow down with him?
I'm gonna stop in midair, catch him, just be like, "Grah, I got you."
Okay, so yeah, you take a bit of a thumping, Redrith, just enough to feel it, not enough to lose any points.
Be like
It's just like,
Superman
"Ugh!"
catching Batman. Yeah,
Well, against
Is
a
that really-
creature made mostly of, you know, or as hard as a rock.
yeah, brick shit house.
Mhm.
All right. Well, since you clearly don't see a need for the rope and you'd rather just ferry people up, I'm going to take the rope
Yeah.
back and put it away
I
while
think
you
that's
go
the
get
safest
everybody else.
way.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to ferry the remainder of your crew up the shaft, huh? Am I all right? So with that in mind, let's add a little bit more time to the clock. Not much, and we will go ahead and fingers crossed. I hope that I've got this all shared correctly. Spent a little time trying to make sure this map worked properly. I hope it does. Okay, so far so good.
Once everyone is safely up top, I will retrieve my ring. It is a big black map with red grid lines and a nice little representation of this magical shaft. We are all clustered on that edge there.
I unfortunately had to use a combination of masks and line of sight, as you will see in a minute.
Well, I do get a feeling when you carry me off, you're going to be holding me by the scruff of my neck.
If you're a cat, he probably will.
Meow.
I figured you just jumped on his shoulder, flew you up there with Feckish.
Does that be like a whole new meaning to role reversal for Never Ending Story instead of the kid role riding Valkyrie, Valkyrie riding the kid? Oh, that's how wrong. Let's about.
Oh, I keep doing. All right, hold on a second. I keep forgetting about this.
All right, we are all
No, we're
up
not.
at
I
the
gotta
top and
do this again. I grabbed
map
it. I grabbed it from the wrong
adjustments.
place again. So hold on.
There we go.
There we go. Ms. in correct form.
Okay.
I'm just
And
leaving
what do
leaving the dummy icon down there so I can keep a view of what's going on the shared screen. All right.
Yep. All right. So
So
what do we see?
coming up to the platform, there is a short corridor, which you can see with a set of stairs leading up. Now, the area in front of you is very well lit. However, the climbing stairway opens into an area of 1,000 beams of light, endlessly reflected off of crystalline walls. It is impossible to determine the shape and extent of this room for the glare, which prevents clear sight more than 1 foot into the area, the 1/4-inch wide beams obscuring vision.
Puzzle time.
Hmm?
Puzzle time. This sounds like a puzzle to solve.
I'm going to expose a little bit more. I did not represent all the beams, but I tried to give an idea.
Okay. Yeah. Looking into this room is not fun. It is much too bright.
Very, very bright indeed.
Well, we've got some spare equipment. So what happens if, if anybody else has any ideas?
There is one thing I should point
Keith,
out.
can you put that description in the chat?
That might help. And there's actually Varric, Fekish, Kaoli. There is one thing you do notice about the web of light beams that you see in there. They all run parallel to the floor. So in other words, there's none that run from a lower part of the room to a higher part of the room. They all are level.
Interesting.
Interesting.
How far off the floor?
It varies. Like for instance, that blue beam runs about 2 feet above the floor. But the red one runs about, actually, you don't see the blue beam yet. So, okay, let's see
Oh, goody, a color-coded puzzle.
Oh yeah,
Just what I need.
it is. Sorry, Albie.
That's all right.
Okay, so the red beam runs 6 feet above the floor. The purple beam runs about 3 feet above the floor.
So they're alternating not to obscure each other.
Not so much not to obscure each other, but that there is a path around them.
All right.
Kaylee, you want to
Sneaky sneak, fly, fly.
Yeah.
Kaoli is a little curious about what happens if we interfere with the path of one of the beams. But
Don't
at the
cross
same
the
time,
streams.
Yeah.
at the same time, she's not quite sure she wants to find out because, it might just be something that pushes us all back into the shaft, and then we'd have issues. So
I've got a thing that
squinting
can
into the
at least
room.
bolster your stuff. Varric will hand Kaylee a small parchment with some giant runes on it. Not like giant on the page, but like giant language. And cast Shield of Faith on her. +2 bonus to your AC for 10 minutes.
Cool.
So you can cast that.
So squinting into this room, I can see that the beams of light are all parallel to the floor, and no two are at exactly the same height?
No, there probably are. There's enough of them that there's going to have to be quite a few at the same height.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Does there tell?
What's the total number of beams?
You can't count them, but you'd say in the thousands, around 1,000.
Okay.
So a lot.
Yeah.
And between
the
the brightness
description,
and the fact that there's so many, there's no point counting them.
Yeah, the description says 1,000 beams of light endlessly reflected off crystalline walls.
So exactly how many beams are being emitted, can't really tell, but they're being reflected, so it's effectively an infinite number.
Redreth would like to take one ration and just toss
there
it
is a
into the room.
finite number of colors.
So the beams that we see are in fact colored?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, you see a light blue beam, you see a yellow beam, you see a purple beam, you see a red beam, you see a blue beam, you see a green beam, you see an orange beam.
Okay.
The question is, are they damaging? That's why Redreth would like to take a ration and just toss it into the room so the beams hit it and see what happens.
All right, which way are you tossing it and at what angle? I don't need an exact degree, but up, level, or down.
That direction, trying to hit the purple beam that I see right in that corner, not too far from us.
Okay. And you're throwing a ration. Are you gently tossing it, or are you trying to get some distance out of it?
Not so much for distance. I'm just trying to get it to go through the beam, kind of like underhand toss it.
Okay. So you underhand toss it. Roll a 20. just want to see how good your aim is, and it could be better, but
Oh.
the purple beam is close enough that you're able to successfully break the beam with the tossed ration, and nothing seems to happen to it. But as soon as it gets obscured by the glare, you hear whoosh, and you all feel a slight tinge of cold breeze out of the room.
Interesting. I would like to take, it looks like we have a spare shield, just a regular mundane shield. I would like to take that and see what happens if I interrupt the yellow beam.
Nothing appears to happen when you interrupt the yellow beam.
There seems like there's enough space for me to fly around with, and if I'm careful, I won't hit any beams.
With a successful DC 15 acrobatics check, yes.
Okay, so it looks like it's possible but difficult.
Yes.
All right. Let's try it. I'm going to attempt to explore the room without touching or interfering with any of the beams. Mostly I want to see if I can figure out how big this room is, what the shape of the room is, and where any other exits are.
Gotcha. You're going to need to move in basically half square increments.
Okay,
So 2.5 feet at a time. Because you cannot see,
no
you
problem.
cannot see beyond that.
No problem. So I'm going to start this here, and I'm going to go around that way. I just picked a direction.
Okay. Now roll your acrobatics check, please. Well done. Okay, and by doing so, a little more visibility. Hotkeys for map functionality. All right, and so that gives you a little more visibility.
Do you want me to make a check for every move, or?
No, only when I'm concerned about you intercepting depicted beams.
Okay.
I am not going to go through and check all 1,000 beams. Obviously, as you already discovered with the yellow beam, not all cause a problem.
Coward.
Yeah.
You did get that breeze of cold and that whoosh, so you still are feeling cautious.
Yep.
All right. So now I'm going to have you roll to make sure you avoid the light blue line. Oh, barely. You almost touch the blue line as you try to go past it, which is 4 feet above the floor.
Okay. I'm guessing that there's probably some that are essentially at floor level, so that just slithering along the floor probably isn't any safer.
No, there are some that you would definitely not be able to get under. and definitely a few you would not be able to get over.
Okay. Just waiting for you to open up the next
Yep, thank you.
section of wall.
Sorry about that.
Yes, that is what I am trying to do, is figure out the walls.
Okay, you now have a blue beam. Which you were able to bypass. You do not succeed in avoiding the orange beam, and you break it.
Oh dear.
Nothing happens.
And what happens?
Nothing happens.
Okay. All right. Then we will continue onward.
A little closer, but not quite as close as the blue beam was. Or sorry, what the orange beam? No, you broke the orange beam. What was the other one that you barely made? Was it the light blue or the dark blue?
I barely missed
So 21.
the
So
light blue.
The light blue, yeah. And then broke the orange one. All right, so the green one you're able to bypass.
Yep. All right, and the green one, I think I made a roll for it.
Yeah, that's the one you just rolled. You were able to get past it.
Okay.
But now you're looking at the red one if you're continuing off to the northeast.
Yep. Yep, that is what I am doing. I'm just going around whatever walls I find.
And you bypass that one.
All right. And move over there.
At this point, you guys do not see her anymore. She is obscured by the glare. Since she is flying, there's no footsteps or any other sound to be heard, unless she meets her demise in some audible way or she says something.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move over here. And I have to try and avoid the purple one. Hopefully I avoid it.
Yep. You succeed in avoiding it.
While she's out of sight, Red Dress could say, well, he holds up the fireball scroll and says, shrugs.
Do you have darkness by any chance?
Ooh,
Way to
good
make the
question.
center of the
Let me
room
look.
dark,
That could be awesome.
right?
All right. Then move over here. And I can see those are more stairs going up.
Yes.
Okay. I will make note of that.
Up into dark.
I
And
don't have darkness.
Okay. I am going to continue moving around the room.
Roll for the yellow beam.
Yep. Convincing my mouse to go where I want it to go.
You clear that one with ease.
Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to guess that the wall continues in the same pattern, but Haley wants
Actually,
to
no,
know
it
for
isn't.
sure, so she's going to
Sorry.
continue. There we go. And rolling for that one. Did I avoid it properly this time?
No, you did not.
Uh-oh.
And at this point, you guys all hear a sharp burst of electricity.
Ruh-roh.
That's not good.
What color was that one?
Light
Cyan.
blue.
Light
Light
blue.
blue. Stay away from that one.
Red dress gestures to the fireball scroll again.
Do I roll a save? Do I take
Yeah,
damage?
I'm double checking which one you have to roll.
Okay.
You and your affinity for fireballs. Have you ever read the book Smart Dragons, Foolish Elves?
I have not.
You'll have to
Uh,
find
that-
it if you can.
You get a dex check.
Alrighty.
Nice. All right, but unfortunately, you still take damage.
If it's a dexterity save for half, I have evasion.
That's true. All right. So,
Calla Lily now has a new perm.
yep. That also means you don't know how much damage you would have taken.
Exactly. I did see quite a lot of dice, but all right. I'm going to continue moving.
6, 2 5s, and a
Having-
4 in that roll. And that one you avoid the green beam successfully.
All right. Over here. And then the orange one. I'm going all the way around because I'm checking for obvious exits.
That's reasonable.
At the moment, I'm concentrating more on avoiding beams than I am searching for secret doors.
Mm-hmm. All right, and you avoid.
Did I avoid the orange one?
Yep, you avoid the orange
Okay.
one. Now, just to be clear, you're doing this with a whole bunch of other beams. This is just representing a sample of them.
Right.
So there are a couple of beams that you're probably breaking, but they're not causing any damage or causing any kind of effect.
Go. All right. And then this one.
That's another close call.
Okay. And over here. And between that half square and that half square, I have to roll for the red one.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, fuck.
So boom.
That's the one I was hoping you wouldn't hit, Kaylee. Save versus.
And then
I guess I don't need to use the scroll after all.
It go boom.
Did you hear me say versus spell?
No. What am I saving?
Versus spell.
What kind of save?
Hold on. Shit. Dexterity. Sort of, thank goodness. Oh, good God.
That's a lot of dice. Did it go boom?
I wonder if it's the appropriate time to start playing the old classic Finger Boy song, Boom, 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 I Want You in My Room.
Kaylee just got hit with a disintegrate spell.
ow.
Oh shit.
Ouch.
And though she made her save, she still took too many points of force damage.
And I can't see her, so and it's not something I could counter.
You cannot see her now. Especially not in your current position.
Well, shit.
Would inspiration be any use? Because I've got one.
So do I.
Yeah,
too.
when
Yeah, it can. I can re-roll the damage on that point. There's no point in having her re-roll the save because she did make the save, but we can't hit less damage on the roll.
Trying to take less damage on the roll. What does that leave her at?
It depends on what. Right now, what she took, she'd be at minus 15.
okay,
Yeah. Okay.
it says on a failed save, the target takes a bunch of force damage.
Mm-hmm.
You said I made my save?
No, I'm sorry. Did you? Yes, you did make your save.
So I take no damage.
Okay, yeah, I misread it. Oh, thank goodness.
Huh?
You leaving it too?
Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, I
Drop the
was
bell off to
suspicious
go in
that
the judge's
Thank you
disintegrate
for
table.
worked a
rereading
little
that. I
differently.
thought that was what happens on the successful save and you just automatically disintegrate on a failed save. So thank you for rereading that.
Yeah, that's
You made your save,
this,
you take no damage, but you feel how close you just came to losing your life and your entire existence. Oh, thank goodness. I did not want to lose our ranger.
I don't think our
I did
ranger
not want
wanted
to
to
lose
lose
the
our
ranger
ranger.
either.
No, 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 no.
All right.
All right, and
then
what did we
over
just learn from
here-
that?
Know your rules.
Aside from that, in game,
Send the cat in
Don't touch
first.
the red.
avoid the red.
Red is
Don't
fast.
touch the red.
And just a reminder, the red runs 6 feet above the floor.
All right,
Don't stand
important
up.
safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
I just watched that last night too. Crossing streams is bad, very bad.
I don't know how you guys feel, but there are certain trilogy enders that are just top notch. I wish they wouldn't have done a Toy Story 4. I thought Toy Story 3 did an amazing job. Ghostbusters Aftermath, I was like, this is great. I thought it was a really, really good trilogy ender
I agree.
or series ender.
I will have to catch it. All right. Kaylee has questionably made
Return.
it safely back to the stairway. And at
A
this
little,
point, I am going to
little
expose the center
scorch.
of it.
And I am going to tell everyone what I found, and that the light blue one is the light blue ones are bad. We've already determined that the purple ones are not good either. At all costs, avoid the red one. Yeah. Elohir does not have any sense of what spell it might have been, but she does get the sense that if
Actually,
she had been just a
Redreth's ration did successfully break the purple beam without incident. It wasn't until after it passed out of line of sight that something happened to it. So the purple beam is safe.
Okay.
It would hit the red beam.
And the orange beam is safe. You know those two.
So what are the heights of the blue beam and the three that are bad, basically?
Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny which ones you think are good or bad. So in terms of colors that you've encountered so far, the dark blue one runs 2 feet above the floor. The red one runs 6 feet above the floor. The light blue one runs 4 feet above the floor. And the green one runs 3 feet above the floor.
Red dress just gonna army crawl right across the center.
How high is the orange one?
1 foot.
Okay, and
So he cannot crawl across the floor without breaking the orange beam, but you've already confirmed that it is benign. Or has
He's literally
has
just
no
gonna
visible,
get down
noticeable effect.
and do the elbow, shuffle thing
The
straight
army
across
crawl.
the center of the floor. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't go straight
Yeah,
across the center of the floor. You're going to hit every beam that way, all at once.
yeah.
Oh, but if they're above a foot,
Oh, that's true. That's
if all
true.
the dangerous ones are above the foot, then it doesn't matter.
That's true. You're just going to cross the one orange beam directly. Let's see.
Right.
Wait a minute. The green beam is 3 feet. So yeah, you can easily limbo underneath that one. The dark blue is 2 feet. Yeah, I wouldn't do that on my hands and knees, but the army crawl, you'll get underneath that one.
Yeah. So should I do a dex check to see if I hit a beam on the way through?
Yes.
Okay, check or save. Check probably, right?
Check.
Okay.
Check. Unless you're trying to do a Black Widow style jumping around the beams or Harley Quinn.
Nope.
How high is the yellow one?
The yellow one is 5 feet. So exactly halfway.
So there you go.
And Redreth successfully makes his dexterity check. is able across to the other side.
This makes me nervous.
Now that we are here, or that we've gotten one across, we're going to say that took about 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
for her to explore the room and for Redrith to make it across. I'll let you guys decide order. However, we are more than halfway through our session, so we're going to take our 15-minute break now, if you guys don't mind. I guess the dog
Cool.
agrees he wants to go out, so I will let him do so. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for now. We'll meet you all back here at 5 minutes to the hour. Okay, and we are back. So team has safely crossed it over to the next side and are now looking into the next chamber. The stairs lead up to a vast room, which is dark, and an evil presence can be sensed here. And at the point that they enter the room, Kaylee starts feeling a buzz or a soft hum coming from inside one of her many pockets.
Forgot to silence your phone before the movie.
For those next to her, Varric and Mizram, you begin noticing a blue glow coming from beneath her robes or her clothes, growing in intensity relatively quickly. Doesn't come out all at once, but before any of you have a chance to say anything or do anything, a bright blue ray shoots from underneath her garments towards the center of the room. Following the blue bolt, it streaks unerringly towards a large figure in the center of the room.
I'm gonna pull out the
The large figure
I'm gonna pull out the whatever it
Wait,
was.
what? Oh, what's happening? Sorry, I was distracted.
This individual stands about 14 feet tall in a 20-foot tall room. And the blow ray strikes it directly in the chest, who reels from the blow. He screams in pain with a voice that is both ethereal and from very, very deep below, rumbling the cavern or the chamber or the crypt that you're in, and feeling as if it should be felt for miles around. But he recoils and stares at you, and as he does so, you notice a very ornate and fancy bottle, presumably of glass or some other fine making, which is in his hand, and he slowly, carefully puts down on the ground as he rolls, or not rolls, but pulls back his bracers in what Redrith immediately recognizes as the beginning of a spell. Please roll initiative.
Goody.
All right. Shit.
Redrith is keyed up seeing the start of a spell.
For real. Me and Fekish at the bottom of the turn order.
That's all right. We get to assess what's going on before us.
Right. Our actions will matter the most.
Exactly.
Adreth would like to urge Haig and Varric forward as he steps back down the stairs. Takes his chances with the laser beams. I'm just kidding.
And this guy's in the center of the room.
Yes.
Okay.
Did
You
you
don't show up on
expose
the-
or
no,
share
you
the
didn't show
room?
up on the map. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't see anything other than us grouped up on the stairs.
Hold on.
He's not in the.
See, I
he's
see the
not
room,
visible on the
but-
combat tracker either.
Show me the monster. Oh, shit. I love it when the monsters take up 4 spaces.
Good times.
Mhm. I'm not moving, I'm just measuring.
All right.
Haig still needs to roll initiative.
I know what we can do. I can polymorph him into a mouse and we can go toss him into one of the columns and let him just fling through the
Just fall.
fall for all of eternity.
It's not a bad idea. We've had
Oh,
worse.
nice, the brothers are going on the same turn. All right.
But I do have polymorph. I'm just throwing that out there if that would be helpful.
And I didn't think you had any spells other than fireball all this time.
Do we know what this creature is? Given that it's set
I
down a
don't
little
use
bit?
any spells other than fireball.
There's that caveat.
You see the picture, right?
Yes, I do see the picture. I'm just curious if our characters know what it is. Like we have an
I
understanding of
don't
what this monster
recognize
is.
it, but that doesn't say much.
Just question for the
Well, just to be
wizard.
clear,
I take it that way you don't cook breakfast.
Just to be clear, who do you think this is?
Oh, I'm guessing it's Galatari.
Yeah, I think it's the Ifrit, without a doubt. Or an Ifrit. Oh, when I hover over it, it says Noble Ifrit. Never mind.
Interesting. It says it should be
Not the Ifrit you're
unidentified.
looking for.
It says it should be unidentified. I'm surprised it gives you the name.
Yeah, that's
Let's see over here.
Yeah, I see Noble Afridi
Interesting.
in the
It does-
combat tracker anyways.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, the picture says.
Yeah, but on my screen it
unidentified, but on
says
the
it
map
should not
says
be
Ifrit.
identified.
It
oh,
is
that's
showing as identified for us. Wait, the
Oh no, I
On
got
your-
the wrong thing set. I never mind.
yeah. There's also you can override the default unidentified creature with whatever you want. So maybe that got changed too. The Shield of Faith is gone. If someone could
Correct.
remove that from me.
sorry. Let me get my combat tracker going here.
Don't want that accidentally
Apparently
calculated
it's
in.
set up that you are supposed to know it's a noble Ifrit, but not that it's specifically Calatarius. But yes, you are correct.
Okay.
You have found your main antagonist.
Oh, goody.
And obviously,
There you go.
Sergeant.
So
does
in
not
the,
like
in the
something that
general
is
channel,
inside your robes.
in the general channel, I'm a kaboom. That's the question.
Well, I don't want to say too much because I don't know what Vark knows about a freak.
Not
we
much.
know that. Yeah. Okay.
Not like you've encountered one before, certainly not a
Mhm.
noble one.
Mhm.
I mean, actually,
Okay.
probably most of you that have even heard of Ifrits are just kind of blown away by the idea that, wait, there's noble versions of them, that they have a caste hierarchy. I go, what the? You thought they were all just, mindless beasts that might have occasionally popped up in legend for a little bit of mayhem and mischief and greed, but to hear that
Surprise.
they are major players on the plane of fire, and that this one serves some being called the Fire Sultan, really has you
Okay.
all rethinking your whole notion of what the hell those genie stories are that you may have heard as a child.
And so plane of fire, probably fire is not a great weapon. So no kaboom. Son of a. Okay. That's just no fun. All right. So
The mage is officially upset.
yeah.
I mean, Ice Storm does the same amount of damage as Fireball.
Cone of Frost.
If I had it.
Perhaps even more.
Right.
If he has a vulnerability to colds, then yes.
Mhm.
Let's just go ahead and
Okay,
really make the mage upset now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, since I am going first and he looks like he's gonna cast a spell. I am going to what do you think? Should I try polymorphing him?
Player knowledge, legendary resistances, question mark.
That's what?
Ooh, what? Wait.
I don't
No, I
know.
won't try it now. I am going to third level chromatic orb at him with thunder damage. Sorry, I've got kids playing a Xbox game in the next room. Lots of shouting.
Let
Kids.
them have their fun. They're not overpowered.
Yeah. So all right. So control.
Hey, they're missing out on the real fun over here, right?
Right. Exactly. All right. So I am going to target him and hit him with a third level chromatic orb. We will do lightning. Oh my god, my rolls have just been, except for this init roll, my rolls have been terrible today, pretty much.
Definitely not a great
son of a
start.
gun. And that was a
Not for the
third
mage
level spell
either.
slot. Son of a gun.
All right, next.
Yeah, let me hit next. But I'm
Right.
watching him closely, so.
So Mizram, you are now up in your humanoid form, elf form.
Okie dokie. I will quickly summon a good old trusty moonbeam. So let me draw a circle for you guys. And stop dragging the map all over the place like a weirdo. So I'll just drop it. I'll drop it about here, so that way it's touching him, but at the same time, if anyone would have run into combat, they can. Cast a spell. I don't think that does half damage, but let me just check. Oh, it does do half damage. At least does something. And I look to Goliath to the left of me and go, well, he's all yours.
Have fun.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will move this way so I'm out of the way. So everyone charge forward.
All right, Kaylee. You're still kind of like looking down at your breeches or wherever you had the amulet going. Where the hell did that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna step back over here and I think I'm going to attempt to shoot it.
I will
because
point
that
out.
is-
I will point out that as you change positions and look at your adversary, you are keenly aware that his gaze is locked upon you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Sergeant.
He don't like
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah, he no likey me. Yeah.
In case I wasn't clear, he is not letting you out of his sight, if he can help.
Yes, I have gathered that. I'm going to attempt to shoot him. Okay. And damage is not the greatest, but it's damage. All damage helps.
You hope.
And yeah. Okay. Then I am going to use the correct mouse button to manipulate the map. And I am going to attempt to hide back here behind Haig and staying low. Because I need to figure out what's going on. To figure out what it is that just shot this thing that he seems so fascinated with. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to take shelter back here because there's nowhere to hide in that big room.
So at this point, Kalatarius has just been hit by the beam that came from beneath Kaoli's garments. And he's on the floor. He's on his knees. One hand is down. His other hand is still holding on to his sword, but he's looking up and looking directly at you as he stands, directly at Kaoli as he stands up and bellows forth another scream that's more from rage and terror and otherworldly power than anything coherent. And it rumbles everything in and around you. Sorry, in his upright hand is not the sword, but the bottle that he is holding. And at this point, he puts the bottle down on the ground, somewhat behind him, making sure not to turn his gaze away from you, but then steps the rest of the way so that he is between you and the bottle. And it's actually at this point that he unleashes that roar, that scream, and bellows in your general direction, and begins gesticulating with his hands in what is the beginning of a spell attack. However, at that point, Varric, Haig, Pekish, you each have your turns.
Yeah. All right, Varric is going to close the distance to him. And As I'm doing that, as I'm running up, let me target. Oh, the Ifrit disappeared from my screen.
Well,
You
it's not
scared
supposed
him.
to do that.
We won D&D.
You won the internet.
Yeah, something weird's definitely going on. Because if I click on your character,
Oh,
then
there he is.
he goes away. But if I click off your character, then he
Yeah.
that was weird.
I wonder why Prick.
Lighting.
Now he's there.
Lighting.
Yep.
Is there a
yep,
light
it's
source
lighting.
in that room?
Nope. Can I even see that? Oh yeah, I've got my monocle on. I can see. So I rush
Okay,
him as
well,
I'm.
it's
So lose your equipment.
not in
like
the
a jet.
combat track.
As I'm running up to the Ifrit, I cast Hunter's Mark on it. And I'm going to attack because my offhand is now my shield. So first swing with my hammer. Shit.
Oh. Swing and a miss.
Sweet. All right, extra attack.
Oh.
Jeez. And that's Varric.
All right.
All right,
Time,
then.
time for your brother to step in then.
All right, I'm going to take my first half of my move. Got my monocle on. You said that's lighting that's causing that darkness?
Yeah, click on Mizram. You'll be able. Once you move, click Miz, and you'll be able to see in the room, so you can target the Ifrit.
I can still see the fleet. I shut that off.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to target him, and I'm going to use a charge of my wand of paralysis. So you need a DC 15 con save.
Constitution save. Nice.
So he had to roll a Constitution save.
Yes, DC 15.
Oh, who?
DC 15 con save.
Yuki. Kalatarius needs a DC 15 con save
Oh, what?
against
You
paralysis.
do it automatically when you cast it.
I have it on a
Properly
wand.
targeted.
I have it on a wand, so can I do it out of the inventory?
Oh, hold on. A good question. Wand of paralysis. Okay. Let me do it manually.
Come on, baby. Lucky a lady tonight.
Not a problem. He resists it easily.
Okay.
And you are down one charge.
I'll finish my move. An extra attack to swing. I'm going to use the Sunblade.
Ooh, lands a blow.
Max damage. Yeah. That's me.
Okay, Feckish.
I don't know if that did anything or not, but casting silence on the Ifrit.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Nice.
very
that's awesome.
thoughtful. Very thoughtful. I
And I
mean,
think that's my turn.
hold on a second. I do think we need to clarify something. Double check. Ah, God, it's so hard to find the stuff I want sometimes. Right, there we go. There's that.
What, you don't have everything committed to memory?
No, definitely not anymore. No.
As someone who has been subjected to silence in the not too distant past, anything with a vocal component is out of bounds for him now.
That was the idea.
Yep.
Okay. However, Alex,
Hey, Dan, can you mute your mic? It's really loud where you are.
Oh, sorry.
all right. Alex, question.
Mm-hmm.
Innate spells do not require components, do they?
I believe innate spells do. Oh, I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
And that might only apply to material, not the verbal and somatic portions. So let's.
I think it just applies to the material components. They don't require material components, but you still need everything else.
See. The description of an innate ability specifies it needs no material components. I don't know if that's, let's see. There's the first one. Ah. Ooh. Okay, let's see. All right, hold on 1 second. I gotta go grab the book.
Okay.
It's my goal in life to make his job difficult.
Either way, you get an inspiration point for good strategy, but still need to confirm what is the right way to handle this.
Yay.
I don't want to break the game balance, you know?
Yeah, no, I dig it.
Mhm.
Either way, I have to go AFK to go tinkle. I'll be right back.
Okay. A monster with the innate ability to cast spells has the innate spell casting special trait. Unless noted otherwise, an innate spell of first level or higher is always cast at its lowest possible level and can't be cast at a higher level. If a monster has a cantrip where its level matters and no level is given, use the monster's challenge rating. An innate spell can have special rules or restrictions. For example, a drow mage can innately cast the levitate spell, but the spell has a self-only restriction, which means that the spell affects only the drow mage. Monsters' innate spells can't be swapped out with other spells. If a monster's innate spells don't require attack rolls, no attack bonus is given for them.
I don't hear anything about components.
Nope. I think it basically comes down to the specific monster. And given that
Mhm.
this one is an elite version of a second edition monster, which in second edition did not require any verbal material or somatic components. However, he is doing a gesticulation, so he is having a somatic component.
So the Ifrit in 5e does say under innate spellcasting, it can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components.
No material
Right.
components, but
Right.
that doesn't rule out. Okay, so with that in mind, and it's specifically addressing material components, and the fact that he is already engaging in a somatic component that is taking time for him because he's actually not getting it off this round. So with that being said, the intent seems to me is that it can and should be interruptible by such an effect. So I'm
I'm back.
going to rule that silence is going to impact his current spell.
And
Yeah.
fucking tastic. And that's my turn, I'm assuming.
With that, it's your turn, but with that, I'm going to ask you to figure out how to draw a 20-foot circle around him.
Oh, fuck all. Really? Are you kidding?
No,
I
I just ruled in your favor. You can do a
okay.
20-foot radius sphere.
20-foot radius.
Centered on the point you choose within range, which is 120 feet. So
You want there?
Brilliant.
the power of a party. All right.
Yay.
So yes, go ahead and end your turn now.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Mhm.
Now, what's Billy Joe Bob gonna do?
Just the extra character so that I can attempt to capture the
know,
shit
I
on the
know.
screen.
I always thought he was just being lazy.
I don't do much. I just watch. He's your bard. He's recording your exploits. I don't press credentials. I'm not involved. Don't hurt me.
Hey,
All
man,
right.
don't
so,
mess with bards.
Redreth, we are back to you.
All right. So that. All right. So we're going to try another chromatic orb, but it's second level this time. Since I'm still targeting him. 60 feet of dark vision, I can still see him even though he's monochrome if he's in the darkness, right? So all right, so second level, I will roll an attack.
Nice.
Actually hit, and I'm sticking with lightning just because, there we go.
It seems logical.
Yeah, so, all right, so second level adds 1 extra D8, so it's 4 D8. There we are.
So 17 damage to him. And I'm still watching him like a hawk, readying a counter spell if a spell goes off. So, and that is it. I'm definitely not moving closer.
Though not as much as you would have expected or hoped, it does seem that you guys have managed to successfully inflict some damage upon him this round. However,
Yay.
he doesn't seem to be bothered by much of it other than the initial blast that came from the amulet. Mizram.
I think Mizram got stuck.
Or he's on mute.
Yes, I'm on mute. I'm talking to myself. I forgot that I'm double muting myself. I undone the one mute, but didn't undo the other mute. I'm like, damn it. But yeah, I moved, used my bonus action, moved Moonbeam behind him to box him in. That's weird. My character sheet is bugging out on me.
Uh-oh.
A lot of bugs in the Matrix today.
Indeed.
Yes, it's being very responsive.
It's the vibrations in response to the OGL kerfuffle.
Probably. I'm gonna fire frostbite, and you see cold mist swirl around my hand, and then I stretch it out, and then fire away.
By the way, I will point out that with the Goliaths up toe-to-toe with Colatarius, they can see down the corridors to each side and see a similar glow coming from the way that you guys just came. So you're presuming that this room is flanked on 3 sides by similar light web rooms. Kaylee. Let's see, frostbite. You guys are continuing to slowly whittle away at them.
I'm gonna get out the amulet and try and figure out try and see if I can figure out what the heck I can do with it and maybe get it to shoot him again.
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
Well, it is definitely still glowing blue.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got it in your hand. You're holding it. You're pointing it at him. You're shaking it. You're twisting it. You're turning it. You yelling at it?
Guy licking it. That normally works for me. Pew 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 pew.
Go, Magic, go.
Yeah.
Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of a wet blanket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to try all sorts of random words. Trying to figure out what the heck it says because I can read bits and pieces of it. So I'm going to, I'm probably not going to be very effective right now, but I'm attempting to say I'm just trying things and probably getting very frustrated because nothing's really working, but I'm also studying the writing on it.
Well, given the current initiative order, it actually probably falls in line just perfectly for what should happen, or for the sequence of events. So Kaylee pulls out the amulet and, as I said, is holding it towards him. It's glowing. She's shaking it. She's Shazam, abracadabra, fire, shoot, pew, 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 whatever, do something. Trying everything in the book that she can come up with.
Most of it's probably
Is it
in
me or
Elvish
did he just say
because
abracadabra?
I think you did.
I think he did. Most of it's probably in Elvish because that's my native tongue, and when the more frustrated I get, the less common I remember to speak.
Makes perfect sense. So you're sitting there fumbling with the device at the moment, though apparently still empowered. Leading up to this point, since Fekish cast the silence spell, which that reminds me, he does get a. Do you have room for another? Nope, you're already maxed out on inspire. Oh no, you did use one earlier. Oh no, we didn't have to because of the.
Right. No, I just clicked on
those
it
might-
because it was open, but
Oh,
I
you
had
put it in
one.
there? Okay, so yeah, you should
yeah,
be
now I
maxed
have
out.
to.
That's fine. All right, so but aside from that, so you got the silent spell on him, and in the time since the silent spell's been cast, leading up to this point that Kale is fumbling with the amulet. Needless to say, the beast has figured out that his spell is not going to complete as he intended, which seems to further inspire his ire. But his gaze is still firmly focused on Kaylee, even though she's attempting to stay behind the corner. And obviously you had to step out in some degree to be able to, put the amulet towards him. He sneers at you. Flames dance from his eyes. And you see a wistful look of, you'll get yours, coming from him. And he looks around at the rest of you, glaring at each of you for a moment or as long as he can, just to get a sense of what you each look like. Though Kaylee, he obviously spent a lot more attention on. He looks back, and before anything else, he looks back at the bottle. And all of this is kind of happening in almost a time delay fashion for you. You feel the clutch of the moment. It's just like everything is happening all the time. But for some reason, he seems to pause at the bottle and then looks back at Kaylee, throws up his hands in what appears to be a gesture of frustration, looks upward, lets loose what would likely be a howl if it was not silent, and then vanishes, at which point the amulet stops glowing.
Pussy.
Yeah. Coward.
Interesting. I'm still staring at the amulet, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that was the weak sauce first attempt at the boss ever. I'm gonna go look at the
I
bottle.
know a little bit more.
It was just two of us. Listen to blind, sitting in the car, listening to blind, calling for each other.
Sound like someone PC doing a reverse sign.
Sorry about that. All right. I had to step away for a second. So what did you guys, let's see.
I'm picking up the bottle.
All right. The bottle. The bottle. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. Bottle image you will see actually in Discord.
Okay. Ooh, pretty.
And it feels
Can I see?
heavier. It feels heavier than it should, but it appears to be empty.
It appears empty.
If you try to look inside, you cannot, there does not appear to be any contents. It just appears that you're looking through it.
Okay, I'm gonna unstop her slowly and smell,
Well,
but I'm gonna do it science-wise, and I'm gonna waft it towards my nose so I don't take anything deep in.
let's see. You're not really going to have much of a chance to do either, because as soon as the stopper is loosened, a pillar of
shit.
soft blue gas rises from the bottle. And attempting to put back the stopper is like trying to stick two magnets next to each other.
Oh,
The wrong way around.
Exactly.
what did I do?
The blue gas
let
comes
something
out of the
out.
bottle, is
I remember
heavy,
last time we let something out.
is very heavy, and starts falling directly to the floor and coalesces. And as it coalesces, it begins to take on a form, a shape. It seems to be the shape of a prone human or humanoid. And as it forms and solidifies, you realize it is that of a very beautiful young female human, dark skinned, in elegant silk and lace garments.
I
Obviously
found me
very
a
high,
princess. I found me a princess.
of very high quality. And upon looking at her, she doesn't seem damaged or harmed. She does seem out of breath, but no worse for wear other than what appears to be some kind of dirt or perhaps burn mark on her palm, which she's on the
Mark's gonna
floor
put
at
his
the
hand
moment
out.
and basically attempting to catch her breath.
Mark will put his hand out and say, "Come with me if you want to live." Sorry.
I'll be back.
Why? That was a pretty quick escape
Totally gonna
for him to
Goliath
leave
high
that
five.
behind. Like,
Cut it out.
you know what I mean? No, it seemed to be a little hasty escape for him to. I know he was flashing back
Yeah.
at the bottle and everything, but
Yeah, I think I think something's very wrong with this picture. But I also think that we don't really have many options at the moment. We
Well, I
kinda
also like
have
to think that our opening salvo probably pissed him off a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it made him quite cranky.
already.
Jason either needs a spanking or to hold
Hmm.
Oh, there are so many
So do we wanna-
possibilities which we can muse over.
That's what I was gonna say. Do we?
What?
Is this a good stopping point? It's 59.
I think
Yeah, we
this
are
is
right
a
on
good
it.
stopping point
Who's chair?
because I have to go. My other
Yep,
game
sorry we
started
couldn't
an
end
hour
earlier,
ago.
but I figured this was kind of climactic.
Yeah,
I presume
needed
there's gonna-
we needed to stay.
Yeah, I presume there's going to be a conversation at this point. But yeah, that'll probably take longer than we have it for now. But this might be something we can conduct over the next 2 weeks through Discord as well. So inside the campaign play area of Discord, I will post the additional descriptions of what
Okay.
happens at this point. I presume at least you're going to, offer her assistance and help her to her feet, and at which point I can continue from there.
Yeah.
You guys can
Sure.
engage the dialogue as you see fit.
10 cents discount.
Okay, cool.
Congratulations. It only took us 2 years and a few more
Oh,
months
yeah.
to meet the main adversary.
For what?
And of course,
all
now
right,
the
well,
question remains as to why he left so abruptly. Definitely.
She's
Yeah,
gonna turn
that
into a
is-
mushroom guy.
Yeah, that's rather concerning.
Yeah.
Especially if he is supposedly so powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta hang up, guys. I will see
Thanks for the round,
you
guys.
Right, take care.
in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Until 2 weeks
Bye.
from now.
2 weeks.